This is the sketchbook I just finished, which took me 6 months to complete. It has a little over 100 pages, even for being a compact square size of 5.5 inches. In this episode, I'll share a look inside, flipping through every single page to share all the sketches I created during these 6 months. You'll also get a glimpse of a way I view the world and moments I captured through my art, all enclosed in this little red sketchbook. Let's begin with the inside cover, which is relatively simple to my usual. I worked inside the sketchbook at the same time as the bigger sketchbook I recently toured. This was my smaller on-the-go sketchbook. Beginning with a flow and some stickers that I created at this time, I began the sketchbook in March of 2023 and finished it that September. And I always love to set a warm welcome. The first drawing I did in the sketchbook was right on location. I unboxed it and unwrapped it in a beautiful cafe, and I took a leap of faith trying a new brand, a new colored pen, and I remember feeling so excited to urban sketch again and practice capturing a complex panoramic view. It was really nice breaking into the sketchbook right on location, and the slight pressure you feel during was a great way to let go of that fear of perfection of that first page. Immediately after starting the sketchbook and trying this new brand, I took it right on location to test how it works with some light washes and watercolor, and I ended up making a little tutorial on Instagram for it as well. Although this paper is relatively thin and for drawing, I was surprised on how well it held up the watercolor, but with light washes of course. And then I had some visitors and made some new friends.
Yeah, Boosie on the scene, baby. Girl did her thing, I like.
Thank
you. Yes.
I've always loved trucks, and this was my first time test driving one. While I was waiting for the keys at the dealership, I just commemorated the moment with a quick sketch. I didn't end up going with that option, but it was a nice experience. More and more, I've been loving walks in nature, so I decided to take some ink and capture the moment on my walk. And with a little bit of gray marker and some cross-hatching, this moment now lives in the sketchbook. Every year there happens to be a beautiful international boat show, and I love drawing any form of transportation. I just find it so fun, and boats are a great challenge. I always do my best to try and expand the topics that I draw. It allows me to keep things fresh for myself and keep my mind open. This was a street view. I fell in love with this little trolley. It was beautiful and red, so I just captured this in a limited color palette using ink and light watercolor wash. On this next page, I practiced some architecture and trying to distort the perspective. I used markers and also a reference for this for practice in the studio, but my intention and goal here was to loosen up, try some new color palettes, and this long, linear, panoramic composition. This was a drawing I did in a Japanese garden. This was actually an ink study of a sculpture I came across. You may recognize this from the video on my channel, but you can check out the full process and experience in this video. It was truly beautiful to be surrounded and drawing in nature and revisit an old friendship with an art friend. This burgundy ink that I decided to use is waterproof. However, after completing the sketch, I decided to leave it as is because sometimes things change in the moment, and that's okay because sometimes it's also best to just go with the flow. This next place was drawn during lunchtime, and it's just a bunch of people enjoying their meal or having meetings. I was passing through during a long drive and decided to stop by to do some editing, and right before leaving created that sketch. I found some new figure drawing classes, and this was one of the drawings I did, and then my friend Zach decided to add on top of it. This was a really cool figure drawing event with a lot of artists all around, and I was grateful to be recognized for the first time by one of my viewers, and her name is Jamie. It was so nice to meet you.
So cool.
This was another light wash sketch on location. I began here with watercolor, and then I added ink on top. Sometimes I really enjoy switching it up and experimenting. This was another sketch done in a cafe, trying to incorporate the flow. This cafe had a bunch of antiques, so I just captured that real quick. I actually ended up returning back to the Murakami Japanese garden, and that's where this ink drawing was born. As someone who was born and raised in New York City, I loved commuting, and I actually really enjoyed people watching and drawing people. And taking the new train that opened up here in the South, it gave me a lot of memories to reminisce on back when I was in New York. One day I ended up driving far north and found this sandbar, and I wanted to try and practice the fisheye effect. I've been really loving brown ink and sepia tone, so after getting some light washes in with watercolor, I then let it dry and added some ink on top to get all the details in. I really love how this sketch came out. I think it's quite successful in terms of composition and simplicity, and seeing it just brings me back right into the moment. I spent a lot of my time on the beach trying to get out and get some sun and ground myself, and these are just some people enjoying their time. I feel like everyone is always in a great mood at the beach, relaxed and happy. Going back to basics with some graphite, I captured them right there. I've been getting more and more into yoga, and this was just me sitting in a parking lot before the class. I ended up arriving 30 minutes early and had some time to sketch. So here's the drawing that I did in about 20 minutes while hanging out in the parking lot before the class started. Since my sketchbook comes with me, if I have an opportunity to sketch, I take it. This next sketch was me testing out a new pen that I absolutely fell in love with, and I did a nice ink drawing, just simplifying some shapes, and this was a tree branch that I saw right outside the studio. A nice little life drawing practice, if you will. Some more ink drawing from life, just a bunch of doodles all around. I wanted to see how I can simplify rocks with just a black and white value. This is me just practicing line work and translating different values into ink, and just practicing some greenery nature drawing. On Mother's Day in May, we went on a little boat ride. We also arrived a bit early, and this is the drawing that I managed to make really quick before we got on. I remember it being a cloudy day at first, so I decided to use some grayscale markers, but shortly after, the sun did come out. On this next spread, I just practiced some sketches of people walking in action and going about their day. One of my favorite combinations to use in my drawing sketchbooks is some gray markers and ink on top. I'm able to get things in drawing quickly, and if I want a little more definition and value, that's where the gray markers come in. Back at the beach doing some more figure studies, this was just sheerly me observing my surroundings and capturing them. Something that I've been intending to practice on lately is simplifying and getting the gesture in quickly, whether I'm drawing a car or a person, and also beginning to practice some bird's eye views and worm's eye views, views from above and below. I was at the salon getting a pedicure before a trip, and this was just my view of another girl getting her pedicure done, so I had my sketchbook and got this in real quick to commemorate the moment. I've also been finding beauty in simplicity and learning to live and make the most of every moment, and that's just one of my ways of doing so.
Said that you fell lost 100 times before, going in circles on a one-way street, running till your feet get sore. But I guess you haven't heard, you ain't got around no more. Things about to get much better.
this page, I practiced drawing the back of the head, which is something that we don't normally do. I actually used a watercolor pencil for this, just treating it like a colored pencil, and here are some of the swatches of the new ones I received. There's something so special observing people enjoying a meal together, especially family, and it was a really cool challenge positioning one person at a time and adding them to the complex panorama. Sometimes the best sketches happen on location with a simple tool, sometimes with my watercolor palette and some great dry brush to really accentuate the texture. Capturing moments has been a passion of mine from the start, and now I get to share it with you guys in these videos. I also did some Patreon designs in these sketchbooks, and now I can get tangible products out to you guys straight from my sketchbook, high-resolution images, in little postcards and envelopes delivered straight to your home. Here are some paintings and designs for that, a great intangible way for you to receive these and feel and touch. Finding links and being able to have all of this found in one place has been powered from the start with Squarespace, who are our kind sponsors of the video. If you've seen previous sketchbook tours on the channel, there are some scans and uploads straight on my portfolio for you guys to check out. With this all-in-one platform, you can build your website, whether it's your portfolio or shop. I have and manage both on my own so viewers can browse and shop if they wish. After previewing a few templates from their award-winning designs, I picked one that's super versatile and can fit all my needs. I love that I can create a hidden page so that if you're entering from my Instagram, it'll bring you straight to my website with all the links right there. I even have some free sketchbook prompts up on my website for you to download. And what else is free is starting your free trial with Squarespace and getting started on your dream website by going to squarespace.com. And once you're ready to launch, head over to squarespace.com/JessCarp for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. In these sketches, I had fun combining graphite and ink. Sometimes when doing graphite portraits, I also really like using a blending stump to create more values quicker. But I liked using that brush pen for the background. These next sketches are a video on the channel you guys may remember. I played with dual colors, doing one section in one color and another in a different color. And I'm definitely going to use this technique when I'm out sketching because I love it. Some more little thumbnail studies with a limited palette with fine liners, just using colors that I don't normally grab, but I really love that warm blue and lavenderish color. These are great to do to practice composition, and the one on the right is done in ink with a fountain pen. Check out this video after this one for a great free resource to practice drawing, and you can sketch along with me as I share how I use it. Here I wanted to create a 2-point perspective street look, all with some lovely analogous colors. On the next page, I practiced some more ink drawing as well with color and a little bit of studies. Some of these are master studies of Gibson girls. I was so curious to learn about the line work that Charles Gibson does in his drawings because I think it's absolutely exquisite. And once I did those, I applied that some to my sketches. One day in the studio, I really needed a break and some calmness, and I noticed my little furry friend Tilda sleeping. So I just sat down, played some music, and drew her from life. And if you don't know what she looks like, here is a little video to sum up the whole experience and the sweetness of it. For this sketch, I only used a micron, and sometimes that's really all you need to do some really nice drawings. Here's the sticker design for September. I chose to paint this little ducky experimenting with all the bright colors that I can find in my art supplies, and at times I really revert back to a nice classic still life, which I kept in a similar color palette so that when you see the mail, it's all cohesive. And another favorite of mine has been these neo pastels. They really feel like a high quality crayon to me, and I've been loving using them more and more. And after doing some studies of my cat Matilda, I really felt like I started to love drawing cats so much, which you'll see them pop up more and more as we continue. On the next page is some drawing on location from the Cheesecake Factory, and on the right are some gesture drawings in dance because I started dancing again and it's been incredible and I've been loving it, and feeling that feeling again is so nice. I really allow my moments and the time of my life to inspire my artwork as well. And look at that, we've got some more cats. This time going straight in with some blue ink, no pencil, and I just love the way this one came out. He's definitely gonna have to be a sticker. Can you guess what the next page of drawings will be? I'll give you a hint. Well, yep, more cats. After doing some cat drawings, I really realized how complex their features are and their expressions. The slightest change of angle in the position of the eyes or the nose changes the expression completely, and I really didn't expect to love drawing them so much. Here's a quick drawing from life from the beach. This was done with purple ballpoint pen, and I really focused on the composition, making the things that proceed a little further away from us to draw them lighter and what's closer a bit darker. Here's some more sketches with a new fountain pen in blue ink. For the little tiny ones, I timed myself a few seconds and I think they came out really cool, and they almost look like little character designs. These were so much fun. Here's a random doodle page I did in the studio. This is from reference, and yep, you guessed it, over on the left, another cat. I really like the combination of the blue ink combined with the red colored pencil, so I tried to do some more of that on this page. I really enjoyed the softness of the watercolor pencil, and I found that it really jived well with this paper. Here's another drawing with a watercolor pencil, just a different color, and I think it came out really successful. I quite enjoy the delicacy of it. And over on the right, a complete different contrast with different colors, some browns, and ink drawings. Over on the next page was a combination of some pastels, colored pencils, and a bit of red ink for definition. A random thought came in and said, what if I did some sketches in like a marigold yellow color? And hey, I think these look like as if they're glowing. After doing the ink in yellow, I added some yellowish color in the background as well. And yeah, here are some more interesting positions of cats. And if you're asking if I'm suddenly obsessed with drawing them, I think the answer is yes. Yes, I am. It was super therapeutic to me, and I found it to be a great practice challenge, especially this twisty pose. You may recognize these fall illustrations from the last vlog. I break down the full process of making the illustrations, adjusting them in digital, and also designing these adorable stickers, which are finally here. Look how they came out. It's always a bittersweet moment finishing something and then seeing it in person. And definitely talk about bittersweet of finishing another sketchbook. I hope you enjoyed this, and I am reaching out and expressing my deepest gratitude for watching, for being here. Your support truly means the world. Some of these exclusive postcards in print are available in my secret Patreon shop, and those are up for grabs if you wish. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. I'm really excited to hear from you. I'm sending you love and light wherever you are. I'll have some sketchbook playlists up on the screen if you want to keep on watching. Stay inspired and stay creative, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.